In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan spends 3 chapters on Karma Yoga. Chapter 3, 4, and 5. In chapter 3, he talks about Karma Yoga as Karma Phala Tyaga, where an individual start to work in this world towards evolving himself to become fit for moksha. For that, he says, first, remove the anxiety about the results of action and work. So in the chapter 3, it is about how to engage in work without having the mind anxious about the result of action. In the 4th chapter, he continues on the same thought process, and then he says, Kartrutva Tyaga Karo. I am the doer, that you slowly give up. Why should I give up, or how do I give up? He says, Atma Akarta Iti Janiyat. Come to know the self is not doer. And whoever does as I am the doer is ego. In the 5th chapter, he says, Karma ko tyaga. Meaning, remove your intent to work. Let the action happen if the prarabdha brings actions to you. Don't you go for the action. And then in 6th chapter, only when you do that, then you are ready for meditation. Okay, this is the thought process. You must understand. Karma phala tyaga, kartrutva tyaga, and karma tyaga. Like that. So your question is, how do we go about responsibilities without Aham Bhava? The teachings from Gita is, first of all, understand what is Nitya Karma, what is Naimittika Karma, what is Nishiddha Karma, what is Kamya Karma. In that context, he said the understanding is Nitya Karma, duties that are to be performed, whether you like it or not. This is called Nitya Karma. For example, a Brahmana is instructed to do Trikala Sandhya. Just to give you an example. I'll come to later part of it, later on other examples. 3 times he has to do worship of sun. Kyun? Because sun wants it. You see, yeah? Sun is demanding, you better worship me. Nahi. Okay. So by worshipping sun, what do I get? Nahi, kuch nahi. You get nothing. So Nitya Karma to be done without looking for a result because there is no result. Then why? Why should I do? Because Nitya Karma performed without first of all, there is no result going to come. There is no anxiety. But what it does is Chitta Shuddhi. Purity of mind. Like for example, if you are ready to cook any food, is it not that you wash the hand first? Kyun karte ho? For what? So that what you are doing is clean. In the traditional sense, the Brahmana is expected to do any actions related to Bhagavan. And not only he does for himself, he does it for the people who are for whom he does the priestly work. To do that priestly work, one has to do the Shuddhi for himself. For example, if I'm a surgeon and I'm about to do a surgery, is it not true that I have to sterilize my hand? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why? What do I get out of it? You get nothing. But when you're doing this, you have to be careful that you are not polluting that. You are not contaminating what you're doing. Correct? So, nitya karmanaha phalam chitta shuddhi. The phalam, the result is not afterwards, there itself. Kartavyam idi karma karu. Do it as a kartavyam. Kartavyam means karna hai. Kyun karna hai? It is not for any particular result that is going to happen afterwards. The very act itself is a result. You become efficient to do that action. You become proficient to do that action. You become fit to do that action. You become qualified. Give you another example. A Kshatriya or a person who's a soldier or army, navy, whatever, they are expected to do daily drill. Get up in the morning, go for a run, all that, and keep ready. Your guns should be ready. You must be fit. Why? Because the enemy is around the corner. No, he's not. It is not the enemy is already at the entrance. Then where is my gun? I kept somewhere. No. At that time, you will not be able to look for it. You must be ready as though the enemy is at the entrance. Though it's not. But you are ready. That readiness. So, manashuddhi kyun karna hai? Why should you want to get the purity of mind? Because any time you must be ready for contemplation. So what does he say to Arjun? Arjun, karma, what you are expected to do as Kshatriya karma is not for any phala praptyartham. Because you are a Kshatriya, you have to do this. It's a swadharma. It is your duty. So, in the duty, in the performance of duty, because it is kartavya, there is no aham bhava. Aham bhava comes only when there is a seeking for phalam. I want a result. I do it, I want it. I and I want. Gurudev always said, I and I want is called aham bhava. Here, there is no aham karta iti bhava. So go about doing your responsibilities with an attitude of kartrutva. I am. See, as a husband, as a wife, as a parent, don't say that I'm doing. No, you are to do. Don't expect any result. You are a parent, you are not expecting a result out of that action of being a parent or being a husband or a wife, because you have committed to be that life. If you have committed to remain as husband or a wife, as a parent, it is not that you expect something to happen out of that. That is called aham karta iti bhava rahita karma. Karma performed without their ahankar bhava. That is how one should go about in the world. Clear? See, when I see an object, any object, That object my eyes can see because there is light falling on that object. Correct? If you are seeing this flower, it is because there is a light that is illuminating that flower and your eyes are able to see it. If the light was not there, eyes are open, you can't see it. Can you? If the light is not there, flower will be there, eyes will be there, but no light. समझ में आया? In the same way, extrapolating that the example, it is consciousness which illumines every thought of yours, good or bad. Without the presence of consciousness, thoughts cannot be known, or thoughts won't even get generated. So, in the mind, a vritti, a thought arises, it is because the consciousness is functioning through the mind, because of which mind has a thought which may be prompted by an external object. But eyes are open, object is there, mind is not there, you will still not see that object. Some of you are sitting there, keeping ears open, but you are not listening to me. Because your mind is not here. Mind is there, but somewhere else. But some people who have slept, I say, let us say they stand sitting there and slept. Mind is also not there. I am talking at the top of my voice, but you won't hear. Let us say a person is lying down sleeping, and you are all talking. Do you think that he will be hearing us? No. Why? Mind is not there. So consciousness functioning through the mind is capable of illuminating every thought, and that is how we come to have that notion, I know. In Atma Bodha, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Atmanas Satchidamshascha Buddhehe Vruttihi iti dvayam Samyojya Acha Avivekena Janami iti pravartate. Atmanaha of the self, Sat Chit Amshascha, aspect of existence and consciousness. Buddhehe Vritti, thoughts in the Buddhi, iti dvayam, two, Samyojya, connecting together. Due to absence of the understanding, it is because of consciousness alone the vritti takes place. Not knowing that, one comes to have a notion, aham janami. This is where the ego comes. I know. That I know is because of presence of consciousness in every thought, not because of thought itself. As I said, this flower, even though it is there, without the light cannot be known. In the same way, thought cannot be known without the light of consciousness. And every experience is only thought. Whether you're hearing or smelling or tasting or touching and walking and thinking, everything is experienced, recorded as thoughts. So if the thought is not illuminated by consciousness, no experience will take place. That is what happens in the state of sleep. Even though consciousness is there, thoughts are not taking place. Therefore, at the end of the sleep, when I ask you, what happened? I don't know. मुझे कुछ नहीं मालूम. अहम किमपि न जानामि. Right? So this is how you understand how consciousness pervades all faculties. It is not directly getting into eyes. It goes through the mind. So that is the nature of consciousness pervading every experience. We are all so worried about the kids, our whole life is circling around kids, 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 kids. That is that's the state of parents what to do. And with all the attention you give, with all the things, one day he's going to walk away. What did you do to me? Finished. See, we are imitating beings. We imitate what others do. Our right and wrong mostly decided by the people who we live with, the society, the community, the friends, the people we know, or we might have heard or seen our parents doing, our elders doing. So, but they need not necessarily be the right source. If you are in the wrong company of people and whatever they do, we think right. Is it right? This is what happens to children also, right? Once you have done all these Balvihar and all these things, you teach them, etc. And then once they go to the university, Hare Baba, what they do, they think it is right. Because everybody does. Everybody does not mean it is right. Majority does not have the, majority does not mean right. If you go to a pub and everybody is drinking, so drinking is right. Everybody is drinking, I'm also drinking, so it's right. Is it correct? Just imitating others, we will know that is right? No. So you need to go to the correct source of knowledge. So just don't not go by what majority does. Go to the correct source. Then only you know what is correct and what is wrong. What we have been thinking all the way through many years we have been doing, and finally one day you come to know that it is not right. It may be a shock to you. That's what happens when you learn Vedanta, I've been thinking I'm only the body and nobody questioned that. When suddenly first lecture itself, you are not the body. This is not right. So all the while up to so many years I've been doing wrong things. So what is the correct source? That needs to be approached. So right and wrong need not necessarily be dictated by people around you or your own experience also, not necessary. Because your experience can be conditioned by various factors. So that is the reason why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Vedo nityam adiyadam tadudidam karma svanushtiyadam. Understand the scriptures and do the things accordingly. So if you buy a new gadget, how to use it, who knows? Only the person who manufactured knows. Right? So in the same way, go to the manufacturer and ask him, hey, what is to be done? So right and wrong should not be merely based upon the goals reached also. Somehow I reached the goal, so what I did was right. That need not be correct. So if somebody has not read for the examination at all, go and copy it from somebody else's thing, and then got, oh no, Chat GPT. I don't need to go anywhere else. Chat GPT, put there, and then it gives, and then I write the same thing. A little modification here and there, so they won't know that it is from Chat GPT. Right. So you have justified your means. That's not correct. So disciplining the kids to eat healthy food, that's your question. Yeah, it is right. Why you are saying it is maybe wrong in the moment? No, correct only. Okay, for you also it applies. You don't say you eat vegetables and all the grains properly while I eat pizza only. You don't ask me. That is not correct. You cannot ask them to do things which you don't do. Or don't ask them not to do things which you do. If that is right for them, it is right for you also. At this particular moment of their maturity, they may not understand that. So I gave the example previously also, that let us say that the boy is or the child is having cold and kind of congestion, etc. And the child asks for ice cream, you won't give. Why? Because it is not good for you. The child is very unhappy. So he goes to the neighbor's home and then that lady gives him ice cream. And that fellow comes back and says, see, that lady that auntie is better than you. She knows what I want and she gave me. Is that correct? And the child, in her immaturity, she may think that what that neighbor, that auntie did was good for him or her. Well, you know why you didn't give. At that immaturity, what the child thinks is not correct. So when you are advising or directing or disciplining someone, make sure that what you say is from the right source, right understanding. So right and wrong must be judged based upon the correct knowledge, not because you observe it around and then that is what is right. See, even in a cricket game or any other game, the players are playing, but there is a guy who's not playing, who's watching. Called the umpire or referee. Huh? So when there is a dispute, whom do they go to? Huh? Whom do they go to? So let us say I and you are playing a tennis game and you did a wrong, you hit the net. Okay, or your ball hit the net. Then I just say that, oh, your ball hit the net, that's a foul, right? That's whatever. So there is no referee and all, we keep fighting only. He says yes, you say no. Let us come to an agreement. That is not good. But you have to find out what is right. Nowadays you have so many cameras, even the umpire can be wrong. You put one angle from here, another angle from another, then there is a microphone also kept somewhere. Then exactly know what happened. Right? So we always find an external source to recognize or to understand what exactly is right. Not you and I decide. So in the same way, Shastra eva pramanam. Tasmat shastram pramanam te karya akarya vyavastito. To know what is right and what is not right, Shastra eva pramanam. This is how Bhagavan Shankara Krishna says. See, there are certain values given. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, Ityadi in 13th chapter of Gita. Then Adveshta, Sarvabhutana, Maitra, Karuna, Evacha, those are given in 12th chapter. And then Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhihi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthidihi. These are all given in the 16th chapter. So Krishna has given in the name of values, he has given what is the right thing to do. For example, ahimsa, right? So ahimsa means what? Na parapidanam. Do not hurt others. Kayena vacha manasa va. So now, when a thought arrives in my mind about hurting somebody by speech or action or by thinking, is it right or wrong? See, if I understand ahimsa as the instruction from the Shastra, then I know any kind of himsa that I create to anyone, any living being, through body or speech or mind is wrong. So it is already said there. So I keep that judgment. When the thought arises of that kind, I know this is not right. That's not I should do. Adambitvam, pretentiousness. I should not pretend as something else other than who I am. So whenever the thought arises, now let me show off, let me do something which will impress others, which actually I'm not, then I know that is wrong. So these are all given as values. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. No hatred towards any living being. Okay. Now, when the thought comes, oh, this person did this to me, I really hate that person. Now, the thought immediately must be countered by, no, Gita says there should be no hatred for any living being. That is my, compass, what do you call that? The one which gives me the direction. No. So I, by understanding or reading, moral compass is called, where one is able to maintain the direction correctly, like a ship does. Whenever there is a deviation, I come back. No, that is not correct. Because of my past or swabhava or past experiences or my vasanas, or because of the people around me or the pressure of the situation, whatever, they try to divert me towards my usual tendencies. Because of this knowledge that I have gained, I may be able to come back to my moral standard. No, it's not right. Nobody needs to tell you. If you have understood what is being told clearly, then you don't need to refer to it again and again. Those values, Bhagavan Krishna says that, Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatatonyada. This is called knowledge, everything else is ignorance. And we live in that ignorance of being prejudiced or proud, and maybe we are pretentious or superficial, hurting others. All that thing we may be doing, that is ajnan, out of absence of knowledge. Now that knowledge is gained, that this is the way to move ahead in our life, then you become aware whenever such thought arises in your mind. Okay. In Sanskrit, Sat means existence. And nobody can say, I don't exist. Anybody there? Hello? Who doesn't exist? Please raise your hand. So all of us know in the sense, not intellectually. Don't say, I'm intellectually, I know I exist. No. You don't need to be intellectual to exist. Existence is an unquestionable reality. See, I exist, and I don't need anybody to tell me that I exist. Correct? Whereas this flower exists or not, does the flower know? Or the vase? Does the vase know that it exists?
No.
Is it existing or not? Is there a flower vase? You know it, right? I know it. It doesn't know. So I exist and I know I exist. That's called Chit. Whereas the flower, or the flower vase exists, but it does not know its existence. Clear? Difference between Chaitanyam and Jada. A Chaitanya Vastu, a Chaitanya Vastu means a sentient being not only knows its existence, but not only exists, but also knows existence. Whereas a Jada Vastu, its own existence is not known, though it exists. Now, this existence which I think that I am is not necessarily because I have a body. It is not because I have the body I exist. My existence is known to the world because I have a body. Okay? Because in the absence of my awareness of my body, also I exist. When? During sleep. In sleep, I exist. No, though I do not know that I have this body in which I am existing. Whereas others who are outside me, they know that existence of mine by looking at my body. He exists, not yet gone, sleep breathing, so he's existing. So gaya, na mar gaya. Now, therefore, I know Sat Tada Chit, right? Now, let me understand one thing. If all inert objects are there everywhere in this place, but no living being, then who will know the existence? The existence of a thing can be known only when it is recognized and noticed by the one which not only exists but knows its existence. So existence is connected to the Chit. Sat and Chit are interconnected. That's why Ramana Maharshi says, Sattayahi Chit, Chittayahyaham. Sattayahi Chit. Existence is consciousness. Consciousness is what I am. Chittayahyaham. Okay, so this is understood, Sat and Chit. Not Sat and Chit Chat. Okay. What did you do when you went to Bal Vihar in the adults class? Sat and chat, chit. Chit chat. No, it's not chit chat. You know that in English when you write Sat Darshan, in the English means sad darshan. What sad darshan you got? Or sat and sang. That's not satsang. We all sat and sang. That's what satsang. No. Now you see, interesting thing is, as a living being I am, not only I exist, not only I know I exist to discover happiness. Right? Every moment of my life, what is my purpose? To find maximum joy. If you're sleeping, that is for joy. If you're working, that is for joy. If you're eating, it is for joy. If you overeat and not eating, that is also joy. At no point of time, I leave the objective. So as a living being, I can pursue my happiness, and I'm constantly pursuing happiness. Kyun? Because my nature is that. So I am continuously in pursuit of happiness. And usually because of my absence of right thinking, I think that my happiness is to be found somewhere. if I get this, if I eat this, if I go there. Not knowing that happiness is my nature, and if I don't do any of them, actually I am in happiness. But it is flipped. What is the flip? That I think I need to do something to be happy. Actually, if you stop that, you will be happy. Ramana Maharshi says, Summa iru. Just keep quiet. But we are not able to do that. See, when you are sleeping, is there anybody making you happy? Anything making you happy? Are you not happy then? Because in that state of sleep, I'm able to be with me. And able to be with me means what? I am in happiness. Nobody is responsible for this. Nobody can be responsible. So that very sleep itself proves that you are happiness only. Swamiji, what are you saying? Therefore, I'll go to sleep. No, because the Prakriti will not allow you. Your own vasanas, your own thoughts, your own ambitions, your own goal will wake you up. Nobody needs to wake you up in the morning. You will wake up. And then you'll find that 1 hour late you woke up today. But you wake up. For what? For happiness only. Why do you go to sleep? For happiness. Right? You cannot but wake up. But when we wake up immediately, the thought process is, I have to find myself to do something to do with happiness. I have to eat this, I have to go there, I have to read a newspaper, I have to watch TV, I have to go for Oscar. Swamiji, time ho raha hai Oscar ke liye, aap band karo. So everything that we do is to seek happiness, but not knowing that when we turn ourselves within, we will find infinite joy. But we are programmed to see outside. Our AI is not working properly. It has to be educated correctly. It has been programmed in wrong ways. So, in that introduction of that chapter, you will find that how to turn your attention from identifying from body, mind, and intellect, BMI, and turn around to find what is beyond the BMI. What is other than that? What is superior to that? So that is the chapter which you will see in 5. Okay.